In a separate video, we've talked at length about how to put the Blum Tandem drawer glides in. What we want to focus on in this video is how to make microscopic adjustments. Where this really comes into play, it's important on overlay cabinetry too, but on inset, the fine-tuning of the drawer glide allows you to get your gapping the way you want it. So let's talk through the adjustment opportunities you have with these incredible Blum Tandem drawer glides. When you install your drawer front, you may find that this gap and this gap don't match, or the top and bottom gap don't match. Blum's Tandem drawer glides are adjustable at the front using some wheels, which I'll show you in a second, to push the drawer box itself left or right. There's some levers underneath that go forward and backward that you can raise and lower the drawer front up and down, or the drawer box up and down. In the rear of the glide, there's a wheel, like a beige colored wheel, that allows you to move the rear of the drawer box left and right. And there's also a gray lever that kind of arcs, and that will raise the tail of the drawer box up. You really can't go down with that because it comes factory installed about as low as you can get it. You can only tip the back of the box up. So we're going to talk about how to move the front and back of the box left, right, up, down, as well as some adjustments you can make with the rear cleat you might have already installed so that you can get your drawer box perfectly level with the front of the front frame. It's not sticking out at the top and flush at the bottom, and all the gapping is correct. So let's get started. I'm going to pop this drawer box out, and as you well know by now, these orange levers, when you squeeze these, your drawer box will pop out. Let's see if I can get you in the video here. These are the wheels I'm talking about. As you spin these wheels, this bracket will move up and down, which is really left or right. So when you spin these wheels, when it's in the drawer itself, your drawer box is being thrust left or right. You'll spin these the same direction. So you'll use your finger to spin them the same direction, and you can actually physically see the drawer box move left or right. This lever here is the one that moves the drawer box up or down. So you want to make sure when you install these, and you install your drawer front to your drawer box as shown in a different video, you want these pulled all the way forward, because if you install this and you find out your drawer box or drawer front is too close to the opening, you could just push this back, and that will raise the drawer front and drawer box up to get the gap across the bottom to match the one at the top. So make sure that's pulled forward, and that's your up-down adjustment for the front. The rear adjustment is found on the glide itself. So way in the back here you have a wheel, a beige wheel, and as you spin that, this whole pronged part of the drawer glide that goes into these hook holes in the back, that whole thing goes left or right. So if you're finding that your drawer box is binding, when you push it in, you can feel it getting tighter. You may have an adjustment issue there where you need to just narrow that up by throwing that wheel a little bit. And you can see the direction it goes. When you spin it, you can actually see the hook move left or right. Right behind that, you have a gray tab, and that only spins 180 degrees. And as I do that, that hook is going up. And you'd have to do that on both drawer boxes, or drawer slides rather, left and right, the same. And that will tilt the back of the drawer box up. It comes in its furthest down position, or it should. What if you have a situation where the drawer back needs to go down? Your only option there is way in the back where you mounted your angle brackets to support the rear of the glide. You're going to need to loosen those up and lower them by whatever amount is necessary to get the drawer to run perfectly level and straight across the front. So you have literally 5 adjustments you can make. Left, right, up, down for the front, left, right, up, down for the back, and then a further rear adjustment to that angle bracket that allows you to throw it down if you need to. With all that fine tuning, you should be able to dial the fit of your drawer in. So let me show you on the case of these wheels how this might play out in real life. Reinsert my drawer. That's actually not bad, so let me throw it one direction here. Okay, I have cheated this to show you a very tight fit over here and a very loose fit over here. I just did that by turning the wheel. So if that's the way I installed it, and I'm going, oh my gosh, my gaps are not the same, all I have to do is spin these the same direction, and I can get that back into line. Now one little tip to recognize is there's a little hash mark inside this detent right here. There's a little hash mark that says 0, and inside the gray area there's another hash mark. When you spin this and you line those two hash marks up, that's considered centered. You want to make sure these hash marks with the 0 on it are lined up in the same position before you install these. Otherwise, you can't adjust both directions. You'll be stuck in adjusting one direction only. As far as up-down adjustment, you can see you've got a gap here and a gap here. Watch what happens when I slide those levers I mentioned backwards. They're all the way to the front now. As I slide them to the back, that drawer box is going to go up to the point where I can actually close the gap and make it so I can't even shut the drawer now. So you can use these to raise and lower that front. I'm going to pull them all the way back to the forward position, and now I can shut the drawer again. So these are tools you can use to make sure your drawers fit, and I want to stress, these are adjustments you want to play with before you call your sales rep or our customer support group and say, hey, I can't get my drawers to shut, or the drawer's binding. These are things you can play with and find out if your drawer tracks are running parallel. That might be why you're binding. Everything is adjustable here. And once you've kind of exhausted your resources and you really can't get the drawer to track or not shut or not latch, feel free to give us a call. We can walk you through it. But this is a marvelous drawer glide. We find very little failure rate with these, and it's almost always in these adjustments that the tricks are, and we can get you through it with a twist of the screwdriver. If you have any questions, give us a call, 888-211-6482, and thanks for watching.